Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Okay, tip of the week. This is a big one. We're always getting asked about this, time management. And as a business owner, we have a lot of things going on. So we wear a lot of different hats. So it's really important for us to make sure that we have that time management under control. So I have 5 tips for you today. First tip, planning your work. Knowing what you need to get done, so prioritizing your tasks, meaning, for your work, like what do you need to do for your clients? What do you need to do for your business? But also prioritizing what are those personal things that you have to get done throughout the day or the week as well. Also set some type of a system. In our video last week, we talked about a Google task sheet. And like I said, I am a list person. I love to be able to check off or mark off that I accomplished something every day because we get a little crazy, and sometimes we just need to know that we got something done today, because there's those days and you're like, honestly, what did I do today? So being able to have something set in place that you can look at your accomplishments. It's setting a schedule. So when you think of planning your work, this may be a little overwhelming because maybe you haven't really monitored what you need to do every day, or you feel like there's so many things to do that it scares you. You're like, oh my gosh, I just don't have the time for it. So one thing that I found when planning your work and prioritizing is setting a timer. This is a great tool because I'm going to spend 1 hour working on my blog post. Set the timer. If you have an Alexa, I always tell her, set the timer for 30 minutes or an hour or whatever that task may be, because then it's time to move on to the next task. Or, okay, I have to go pick up my daughter from school, so these things need to be done before I go. This is what my priority list was today. And if I have free time, then I'm going to work on this, this, and this. Okay, so make sure that you're planning your work. Write those things out and be able to then look at what can you accomplish and have that system, like I said, that shows you whether it's a check or a cross off or whatever it is. You need that sense of accomplishment every day. Number 2, time wasters. This little beauty, she's my time waster. I have actually, when I'm working, I shut down social media on my computer so I don't even see the notifications. And once I'm done with the task, then I can look on my phone, I can check Facebook, I can check Instagram and see what's going on. So find out, and we teach social media, so we love social media, don't get me wrong, but there are those days where an hour and a half later, I'm like, why am I still on Facebook? Like, you just kind of get sucked into that black hole. So knowing what your time wasters are. Are they social media? Are you going to too many networking events where you're not getting your work done and you find yourself there, or when you are there, you're there for 2 or 3 hours because you're chit-chatting? It's great to build those relationships and it's great to have those networking events, but make sure that they're not wasting your time or sucking your time out and you're there half of your day and you haven't been able to get those things done on your list. Kids, our kids at times suck. Sometimes, when my daughter was home for the summer, this was something that I had to rearrange my schedule. I had to prioritize, and she's 5, so she's, old enough so that she can go play, or she would have 30 minutes of her iPad time while I had 30 minutes of my, blogging time or video time or whatever it was. So how can you create that schedule for your kids too if they're taking too much of your time and your focus away from your business? How can we make that a happy medium for both of you guys? Calls. If you work from home and maybe your parents are retired or you have siblings or friends, and making sure that you set those boundaries. I know when I first started my business, my Nana would call, my mom would call, and again, half my day I'd be on the phone chit-chatting, and I'm like, I need to get stuff done. So setting those boundaries for those phone calls, letting them know, hey, I'm working these hours. I'll call you when I'm in the pickup line, or I'll call you when I'm done with this meeting, or whatever it is. So setting those boundaries if those phone calls are a time suck. Number 3, and this is something I have been really good about, and it's very hard for people to do, especially us type A OCD people. Delegate. We can't do everything. We don't want to do everything. It is so important, and there's so many resources. It doesn't mean you have to go hire a team of 10 employees, and if you can, that's great, but find things that you have been putting off. If you look back at your and this is why I like having that task sheet, because when I have that task sheet and there's something I need to do, If I didn't do it, like I said in last week's video, I'll carry it over. And then I look at, oh my gosh, I was supposed to do this last week and I still didn't do it. Why? And my big hang up a lot of time is my blog writing. I know I want to write a blog. I have those ideas in my head, and then life happens and I don't want to do it. So what are those things that you can delegate? What are those things that have been sitting on your desk, maybe in piles? I'm not a pile person, but I know a lot of people that like piles. What are those things that you can do that you can say, okay, I'm going to give this to you, or I'm going to find somebody on Upwork or Fiverr, or maybe you have a 16-year-old that needs some, a little bit of extra cash and they can go through and enter in your business cards. Maybe you have a stack of those networking business cards that still need to be entered into your MailChimp newsletter. So is that something that they can do? Can you pay them 20, 30, 40 bucks and have them do it? Get those things off of your to-do list and be able to find the sources that can help you with that. And you don't have to spend a lot of money. So it's not like you're giving up your full income so you don't have to, do anything. We're talking about just those small things that you don't want to do that have been on your list for a while and you need some help. So be okay with delegating. It is going to make your life so much easier, and you're going to be very happy that you did it after you do it, okay? Number 4, find tools to streamline and automate. This is huge because there's so many things that you can do that will help just save an hour here, an hour there, 5 hours, or whatever it may be. 2 big things for us are invoicing and credit card charges. I spend a lot of time each month doing my credit card charges, but I can automate that. So every month on whatever day, whether it's the 1st or the 15th or the 10th or whatever day our clients sign up with us, that the 10th of each month, their credit card is going to be automatically charged. I don't have to worry about it. Their invoice was already sent out through QuickBooks on the 1st, so they already have that. So putting those systems in place allow you that freedom that I don't have to worry about doing that today or this month. So, the invoices, credit card charges, that's important. I mean, even if you use PayPal, they have those tools to be able to send out those invoices and set up that recurring billing so that you take advantage of it. That is going to save you time. Your email marketing. What is that system you have in place when you meet somebody at a networking event? They want to be added to your email list because you've asked. They say, yes, I would love to be a part of your newsletter. You add them or you put them in the pile. And then what? So what does that process look like? Do you have an email campaign set up where, you enter them in the email, they get a welcome email or a thank you for signing up email, and then they get a newsletter, and then they get, maybe they go into a drip campaign or whatever it may be. Your email marketing is something that you can easily set up, automated, and it saves you a lot of time. A calendar tool. This is something that we're actually looking into because we're doing a lot of online scheduling, but then I have to look at, okay, what's my calendar look like? What's Caitlin's calendar look like? So being able to find an online, I think there's Calendly that's free up to like 30 minutes. So you can have 30-minute blocks and people can go online and schedule. So, and you can set that. So we can say, okay, Tuesdays afternoons and Thursday mornings, we're free. And people can go in and schedule. And then that automatically syncs into your Gmail calendar. So that's a really good tool to be able to use and set up, finding if you are doing consultations, find that tool that works so you're not always having to let me get back to you. You can have it on your website. People see when you're open and then they can book the time. Also, depending on your industry, there could be scheduling tools like that already. I know in the salon spa world, there's a tool that's called Vagaro, and you can add your services in there, your pricing, set your schedule, and they can book online. And I know there's tools out there like that for other industries. So do some research and find the tool that works for you. And it may take a couple times to find that tool, but really look at everything that you do and what can you automate? How can you streamline this? Maybe it's using a social media scheduling tool. Maybe it is finding a blog writer that can just start writing the kind of the guts of the blog, and then you come in and add your personality. So then that saves you kind of that mind space. And then, okay, I need to do this. Maybe you're doing a lot of videos and you need help with the editing or being able to put them onto YouTube or the intros or whatever it is. So be able to find those things, find those tools that can help you automate, and that will really just, it's little increments here and there, but they add up to a lot of hours. The last thing, tip number 5, stay organized. I cannot work when my desk is unorganized, when my office is in the front room of our house. So if my space around me is disorganized, my mind space is disorganized because I'm focusing on, it's in that pile. When was the last time I went through that? Oh man, I really need to clean that over there. And then I'm trying to multitask and I'm trying to focus on this while I'm trying to, it doesn't work. So organize the space that you're working in. Make sure that you feel good about it and that it inspires you to work. Because if you are dreading going to your workspace, wherever that may be, whether it's a house or you have an office or you have an office inside your house, wherever it is, if it's not clean, it gets in our head and it stops us from being able to do what we love to do. So those are 5 tips for time management. I would love to hear if you have used any of these tips or what tips you have that have helped you manage your time as a small business owner. So please comment and share and let us know what's worked for you. Thanks. Have a happy Thursday.